Hello, welcome to Awkward Conversations with me, Julius, and I have a couple friends with me. This is
Peterson.
Emily. Alex.
And Joe.
And today we're going to speak about, the topic that we're going to talk on is it okay to talk to multiple people at once if you're not in a specific committed relationship with anybody? But before we get into that, this interview is inspired by Imperium Rouge, a botanical male enhancement. Visit Imperium Rouge, love her mind, and conquer her body. What do you think?
Well, I feel like nowadays there's a lot of relationships that are being built without any foundation per se.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like there's a lot of relationships where it's kind of like you're in a relationship but you're not. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. You mean like there's not a title, but you're actually
there's no title, you know, there's no definition, but it's kind of like I do for you as you do for me.
That's a dangerous path to walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That leaves vulnerability, you know, a lot of open areas to get hurt, you know?
Absolutely.
Because if one person has a different idea than the other, then that other person is probably going to get hurt once the other one, you know, isn't taking it the same way. So
what do you think about that? Do you
I
think
think
do you think you can talk to multiple people at the same time? Do you think that's fair?
I think it comes down to what most of our discussions come down to. It's communication.
Yeah.
It depends what you. But at
What
the
you
same
decide.
time, it's you can't get mad at somebody else if they don't communicate that. Really, you can't get mad
Yeah, you
at
can.
somebody else if they get.
Yeah, you can.
Not
Because
if
then
you
you
didn't
should have
ask for it.
communicated.
Yeah, you
know?
should have
Then
asked for
should've-
what you needed.
If
If you don't
exactly.
vocalize that, they're not a mind reader. They don't know what you need. So it's like they're
Yeah,
doing
you're
them. You never said, I don't want you to do this, this, and that. Like, that's why if you want that, you have to tell them
You
that
have
you
to
want
say
that.
But
so
you
that
just-
if they can't
but-
give it to you, you can leave.
But he also said that they don't have to. What if you do ask, but they choose not to? A
Well,
lot of
that's
people are in the.
lying, and then you end up realizing eventually that you're with a liar.
All right, so that's why I'm asking. Do you think that's okay to speak to multiple people at once?
Yeah, I think.
I think
I gen-
yes, until you decide.
I generally think that no, you shouldn't be speaking to a bunch of people all at once. I feel like you should take your time when it comes to certain things like that. For the simple reason why, you know, a lot of people come out here and they say they have a certain self-respect about them, but in reality, when you indulge in so many different people and
So
you're going out,
you're not saying speak to people, because you're using the word speak to people, but I think you mean have sex with
not
people.
even just have sex. I'm just talking about just, all right, for example, you're talking to him.
Entertaining.
Yeah, you're entertaining. You're like, all right, let's go on a date. Let's go on a
So
date.
dating,
One day,
open date.
yeah, one day you're on a date with this person. One day you're on a date with that person. One day you're at that person's house kissing them. Let's say you didn't even go into intercourse at all, and you're with this person, you're with that person, you're with this person.
Why
You
not
think
be
that's
able to test the waters if you haven't met a lot of people? You're just meeting people and hanging out with people.
so? All right, so you feel like it's cool to be testing the waters with a bunch of people
I
at the
mean-
same time?
Like, why not? That's what my mom always said. She's always like, just date, just go out, get taken out to dinner. I'm more of like, I pick a guy and like I keep it really like low key with him, you know. But
So
like,
why you keeping it low key if it's all good? Yeah.
What do you mean?
You say you keep it low key.
I
What's
mean,
the
I
point of
don't like
making
like going out to dinners and doing that. I just like to
Chill.
Netflix and chill?
Netflix and.
All right, we know what Netflix and chill is.
Well, who are you to say that that's okay or not? Maybe you don't like it, but
So,
some people
so
do.
let's say like this, right? Do you feel like after you're doing this, and then do you feel like I should respect you as a person or as a woman that you're walking around doing this with multiple people?
Absolutely.
Why
Why,
would I
should you
respect you for
respect
that?
someone less for their sexual choice?
So you don't think there's some kind of respect level when it comes to somebody running? I'm not
No.
just talking about
Absolutely
just a
not.
woman and a male.
No.
You really think that's not connected inside a
No,
man's
I mean,
mind?
it's a person's character. It's what kind of person you are. Like, why are you judging a woman?
It's not even
based
judging.
on their
It's not even judging. So you feel like
choice.
people should freely go about just. You don't think there's any way that you should be
It's
like,
their
I should
choice.
have some kind of reserve for myself.
It's their choice.
And
yes,
so you
if you're
don't.
exclusive, but not necessarily.
I feel
So it's all free for all when you have nobody that you're specifically committed for. Like you don't think that you deserve. You should give yourself some kind of
It
self-respect.
depends.
For
I
that.
think it depends.
It
Like
depends on the
if you've
person.
gone out on like 2 or 3 dates with somebody, and then like you're still going on like a date, a date with 3 separate people while you've gone on like 3, like that's, you can't get too bugged out about that.
Yeah, I feel like if you have to lie, then it's unhealthy.
It's shady, right?
Yeah.
So if don't you feel like you're going into it
If
already
you're-
wrong if you're already speaking
Yeah,
to a
well,
bunch
if you're
of different
dating
people?
multiple people, and like one of them is like texting or something, and you're with another one, and like you feel like you have to lie, then it's wrong.
So don't you,
You
when
know?
you're doing that, all in general, don't you think a lot of people already lie about that? Because I feel like people in the
I
back of
don't
their
think
mind,
nothing to do with
Broad
those.
City, they communicate. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm with a girl right now.
Yeah.
She's like, word, have fun. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
They're in
healthy
a
for us,
relationship.
yeah.
That's healthy for us.
And
I'm
that's
happy.
super communication.
And
That's
he's
super
just like,
healthy.
okay, gotta go.
you're happy.
No, they're like that.
Then
I
we
don't
just,
really
once
do
we
that,
get
but,
these certain
you know?
feelings, once we get these certain, it's more than love, the feelings that men get in these scenarios.
Territorial.
It's ownership, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily right, we think, but it is natural. It is kind of how we are in a way.
Like I've loved probably one guy, and I was so territorial about him. Like I really didn't want him like talking to any girls. Like it would make me feel uncomfortable when he would talk to girls. I've
So,
only
but
felt
when-
like that about one person.
So when feelings are involved on the other side, on your side, you feel like that's not okay. But if you're not feeling that way, you don't know how the other person's feeling. You feel that's
You're
okay.
saying before a specific established relationship.
You don't have
So,
to be in a
like,
specific established relationship for you to have feelings for somebody.
I think like once I have feelings for someone, it's
Yeah, it's
because
brought
we've
up.
established that
Yeah.
it's okay to have feelings. That I'm not.
That's
gonna
not how
get
it
hurt.
goes. You know that's not how
That's
it
how
goes.
it
You
goes
can't
for me.
control your feelings if you're talking
Okay,
to
but,
somebody.
like,
How could you establish
Once you
feelings?
get
That's
that
how it
deep,
should go.
it's
But that's not how
because
it
you
goes.
both
And that's
said
what
that that's what you want.
It goes like that for the other girls out there.
It doesn't go like that. It's just not. All right. How about
So
you?
I mean, it's like we said, it has to boil down to that communication factor. But like, you know, like if we're both vocal about it, and you know, like there's some like common grounds that have been built, then you know, if those grounds haven't been like crossed, you know, I don't see like what
What the problem is?
right. I don't necessarily feel like it's a big issue.
I want you, and also, the conversation I was having with you also about the whole self-respecting thing. Where do you feel like that starts and that ends?
You mean whether you respect a person because of who they choose to have
No,
sex
No,
with?
when you respect yourself.
When you respect yourself, where do you think that starts and where that ends?
It's so deep.
Sexually, or whether like you're caring.
Well, we're going back. I think we're going back to the point where you
I'm
know,
going back
you're-
to where we're speaking about.
where you know,
sexual
you're dating, you're able to date multiple people at
Did I say that? That I was able to do that?
Yeah, you.
Are you referring to me personally? Are you talking about respect for myself personally?
No, because we were having a conversation about it before where I felt like, hey, if you're doing this as anybody actually, male or female, there's a certain extent where you can't say you have that much self-respect for yourself if you're walking around sleeping with a bunch of different people at the same time.
But
But you
that's
said
what
that's
I
your-
said, it depends on the person.
But you also,
People can respect themselves and be fully respectful of others while still being openly
Respect.
sexual and
how do you
screwing
have,
who they want.
how is that, how
It's
is
a different culture.
But you are religious, that's your thing.
I'm
You're
not
more
even gonna lie
religious.
to you, this
Like,
has nothing
I'm
to
not,
do, this has
and a
nothing,
lot of people aren't.
this has nothing to do
It
with
has a
religion.
lot more to do with it than you would think.
Not me.
Because you think you can't necessarily respect someone who has sex, or especially a woman. Not saying that I'm dating and screwing a bunch of people right now, but like if a woman chooses to do that, I feel like certain more Christian cultures view that woman as not being able to be respected.
It's not even
I want you to
Christian,
know
it's
this
just
has
any
nothing to
religion.
do with religion.
Any religion.
I want you to know I'm not coming from a religious part. I'm
I
actually
think you
coming
are
from.
more than you think.
I'm not coming from a religious
sure?
part.
Alright, here's
I
a
am
question.
positive.
Here's a question.
sure?
Maybe it's not a
Positive.
religious thing.
it may not be a religious
I'm not talking
intention, but like I
It
kind
comes
of
from that
feel
upbringing.
I kind of
Just
feel
remember,
like the
it's-
religion
it's-
kind of
it's-
plays a part in
I
that
feel
as
like a
well.
lot of men,
Not
a
for
lot of
nothing.
men think that, and this was even my own train of thought at a certain time, that I don't feel anymore. Like, I feel like at a certain point it was like if a man was like being promiscuous, it's not necessarily as bad as if a woman is being overly promiscuous.
That's
You
a
know?
double
And that's a
standard.
double standard.
I understand
and like,
what you're
you
saying.
think of yourself, like when you get with a lot of women, it's like, yeah, I bag
You're
this
saying
bitch, I bag this
highly
bitch,
of
I bag this
yourself.
bitch.
Nah,
notch
I
on
don't-
belt.
I don't
You
personally
want
think highly of
women to
myself.
not respect themselves for doing the same things that all of your friends and you do.
What makes
by
you
dating.
think? What makes you think I respect them for doing that, or I look at them highly for doing
Your
that?
friends or yourself?
Myself or my
I
friends.
don't know, I feel like a lot
And-
of people do.
Not you.
And where- and
just
where-
a lot
and
of
where
men.
does-
A lot of men do.
Well, I'm asking this question is because where does the principle start? Where do you say you have a certain principle about yourself? For example, let's just say if you had a daughter, or if you had a mother, you have everybody here has mothers.
What does that have to do with it?
No, I'm
They're
just.
children, they're my children, so I want the best. No, we're talking from adults here, what it has to do.
No, I'm trying to explain. If you're an adult and you have a child, you're a little bit older, and what if your child came to you and say, "I'm out here being promiscuous with multiple men"? How would you feel about that?
Why do you say multiple men?
I would hope
Why
that
do
Where-
you
I taught them
automatically
that.
come from a daughter or womanly standpoint? That's where the double standard comes
No,
in.
I'm gonna
You're
ask
being
them.
sexist. What about my son?
I'm gonna
If
ask him
My son's
also.
saying he's sleeping with a lot of girls.
How would you feel about that?
Are you being safe to both of them? Are
That's
you being
it.
safe?
You're just asking if you're being
And
safe.
also, why do you feel the need to do that? What hole? What are you trying to fill up by the constant sex?
Would
Is
you
it
ask-
constant?
would you
Or
ask
is it
yourself
like
that same
they're
question?
hooking up with two people?
What if they just like, I just
or-
like having fucking sex, like sex is awesome and like.
Are you
I
okay
just
with that?
love to fuck, yeah.
Well,
I
Are you
think
okay
I
with
would
that?
be- and they said to me, Mom,
If
I'm
you're being
using a
safe,
condom.
like, if it was, that's the thing, this is where I'm still a little fucked up. If it was my daughter, I'd probably be like, kind of fucking tight, not gonna
Oh,
lie.
Why would she
that
tell
way.
you that?
Of course,
Now,
yeah.
Now let's not talk about if she would tell you that. Why would you feel that way?
That's
I guess because in a way I would feel like she was being taken advantage of in a way.
So
Why
why-
is she taking advantage of for having sex though?
I'm
What
not
if
saying
she
I'm right by
loves sex?
thinking it. I'm not saying I'm right by thinking
You
it.
know what? I totally used to think this way too. I was like, you know, very like, I don't know, like if I should have sex with you, like, am I gonna think less of myself? My number's higher. But no, like you're not taking advantage of me. You're enjoying it just as much as I am.
I guess my fear
You know?
would be right there.
It's
That
like,
would be my fear.
We're both enjoying it. Why the fuck are we judging each other for this time that we're sharing? Like, why is anyone judging anyone in this situation? Let's be.
My,
So there's no
Respectful of each
rules to
other.
this, basically.
my fear
What do
would
you
be
mean?
if-
Like, I'm not in a relationship right now. I'm hooking up
So
with
there's no
one
rules.
person, and I mean, I'm comfortable doing it. I'm not in a relationship. I told him I don't want one. Does
But
that
I'm
mean
asking,
there's
are
no
there?
rules?
I'm asking. So by the way you're speaking, there's no rules to this. You can basically do whatever, whenever you want.
I've been
Just
in
be
love
aware.
too. I've
Just, like,
been
be
with
aware
someone who
and
I've
just-
had tons of rules with.
I think as far as the children go, like you just hope that you teach them the right things and to.
So why is it that when I speak of your children, you're saying you teach them the right things, but when it's yourself,
No,
There's-
same for me. I mean, I know who I am. I know that I respect myself and I support my own decisions for
so
myself.
under what circumstances do you say you respect yourself? What is the principle of you saying that you respect yourself? Do you feel like even though you might sleep with multiple people, you still respect yourself? Or do you still
Well, I
feel that?
don't, so.
So it seems like you're not with that. You
I mean, I just got out of a really long relationship, so I'm still trying to just figure this out.
no, I mean like in general,
But
like it's
be
just
real,
a
like,
general.
You sleep with people. Like, do you respect yourself
Yeah.
less for doing that?
No.
Is that something that you're open to share with people? Like you wouldn't mind telling somebody, hey, I have this amount of whatever?
Oh yeah, no, I would never be ashamed of how many.
What about you, Julius?
What about me?
Would you lie about your number?
Do you
Uh,
feel respectful of yourself for the amount of girls that you've slept with?
With me, I feel like,
Are
you know,
you happy about it?
am I happy about it? I feel like, you know, I'm not so necessarily happy about it. I don't have, there's not a trophy in my head about it. It's
You're
one of those,
proud?
I'm not proud about it. I'm not proud of it
Once you
because,
learn to accept it, though, you'll be fine.
To be
no,
honest,
not that say I didn't expect it. I don't accept it. Is that I understand that the environment that I was raised in,
Yeah.
I was led the wrong way to think differently.
Yeah.
It's only as I got older I realized, yo, this is not the way. This is, if I truly have respect for myself and say that I do, in my personal opinion, I'm not gonna be giving myself up to everybody just because I feel horny at that time. I feel like I should hold that back.
yeah.
That's true.
So to me, that's why I was questioning you, not trying to get at you. I'm just trying to ask you, do you feel like a person,
I
you
don't
know,
every moment. I've never screwed someone in a club. Like, not that. I'm saying, like, if you are single and there's a guy who you're vibing with, and like,
I
you
still
know,
feel
feeling
like
them,
I still feel man
should
or
you
woman.
have to be in a relationship first to have sex? Is that kind of like more the question?
Nah. I was just
Or-
basically to get back to what I was saying. Why I was saying it is because I feel like if you're talking to a bunch of people that, even if you know going out on dates, there's a certain part where I feel like you need to have reservation for yourself to be like, hey, I shouldn't be along with all these people, even regardless on how they feel, but just for yourself as a person to represent what you say you represent. You know, if
Well,
you're saying that
what is like who you choose to like have sex with have to do with how you represent yourself? That's what I'm wondering.
I feel like you're giving yourself to multiple people.
But they're giving themselves to you too.
I'm not talking
You're
about that
giving
person.
yourselves to each other.
I'm talking about myself. I'm not in control of their body. I'm not in control of their mind.
But,
I'm talking
like,
about
that's how
myself.
Having
You
sex
see
with
it.
multiple people, is that what you're talking about? Having sex
You
with
see it as like giving yourself, like instead of an act that you choose to partake
I
in.
don't think
That's
it's
like
cool to have sex with multiple people, if that's what you're talking about.
All right, so if you're I was kind of gonna get into that about the whole specific. If you can talk to different people, I was gonna get what about getting into intercourse with all these different people also at the same time. I don't think that would be right either.
Like literally at the same time.
Nah, not literally at the same time. That'd be crazy. You better, go straight to wherever you.
That's
I'm
like
not
a
telling
whole
nobody
other
about this.
thing.
there
But-
are people who do that. Though.
Yeah, that's
Trust me, I know. Trust me, but not to say trust me, but I know about that.
He knows more than any of us, and he's all like, "It'll be with one person."
But I had to go down my road in order to realize what I've done. I'm not
Yeah.
talking out of my
That's
ass
exactly
here.
And I've
That's
always
exactly
been on that road where I am like totally like I like to focus on one person at a time. But I'm saying for you to disrespect someone and to like,
I didn't say disrespect. No
or to
disrespect.
just like be like, why do you respect yourself? Or like, so like that's what I'm trying to bring up is like,
That's okay.
why are you immediately turned to the girl, who says that? Not even necessarily that is me or what I do, but I played that role. And
No,
you
you brought it
immediately
up.
went to why do you respect yourself? And like, where does that start? Where does that end? But why does the woman, get that kind of
It's the same thing.
attention?
It's
like-
the same thing because actually
but it
brought-
is true in this day and age that it's.
I don't think it's so much about a number, like we're talking about the number, like are you
Yeah.
ashamed of your number?
Mm.
I think it's a situation there, like women I've had sex with that like, I look back at it and I'm like,
Damn, I should have
It was
done that.
bad.
it wasn't necessarily
It was
like
just
she
bad.
was ugly, it wasn't necessarily like I didn't love her, it was just like, it's not a good experience.
not worth
It's
it,
like
yeah.
not worth it, like I kind of rather have not
Yeah.
gone that route, But like there are also
Maybe it was
ones.
maybe it was good that you did go through that route, so you could have learned
But
from it
I
and
did
grew
a
from
few
it.
too many times. Like, just like,
So all
I
right.
shouldn't have done that again. Yeah.
All right, so just not to, sorry, because we're kind of getting so, but just to say, from what I'm hearing, about the whole talking to multiple people specifically, you're not in a committed relationship all at once. From what I'm getting from you guys, it's basically okay if you communicate with the person, if you tell the person what's going on. You don't think that's too much of a problem with that, and you know what? I agree with that. If there's communication, if you're not ready for something like that, and depending on what situation you're in, you might not want to be in a relationship, and you just want to get to know different people, experience different people. I definitely understand that. But if you are getting closer to one person, I feel like you should definitely kind of tell them what's going on, and tell them if you're going to speak to somebody else, that if they're okay with it. You shouldn't just kind of do that under the rug, because that's unfair to the person and that's unfair to yourself. And bless you. And that's basically it. And also with everybody has their own opinion of self-respect. I hope you guys don't think that I have my opinion, she has her opinion. Nothing is wrong. We all live in a beautiful big world. So definitely speak to your person about it, and you guys can definitely get into some kind of communication about that. And have a nice day, guys, and I hope you like the talk. See you next time. Go to Imperium Rouge. Peace.
Imperium Rouge.